the Driver in Deep podcast. Are you ready?
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us for the Driver in Deep podcast. This is a special episode and our first shot at going live to video. And I don't know if Driver Cal wants us to tell everyone that this episode is brought to you by drivercal.com because I'm not exactly sure how well this is going to go, Alex.
Well, maybe he'll have to wait till he sees the finished product, but I'm sure he'll, Driver Cal will just be fine with it.
Well, I hope so.
You got to start somewhere, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. And if anybody had been here to watch us, they would have just saw us spend the last almost hour trying to get this stream set up. By no means are we pros at this, but I think we're pretty dedicated that eventually we're going to get this right.
Absolutely. And, you've been doing a lot of work behind this, behind the scenes, and it's going to be just great for sure. I think it's just, I know I've been pushing for a video for a while, and you've just been trying to get the right to be just an added, I was going to say added value, but now that some people that don't know us see our faces, it may not be looked at as a value.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I know people have made comments before about, hey, you guys have a face for radio and blah, blah, blah. But here we are.
Absolutely. Now it's going to be proven.
Yeah. And, today we kind of went without an agenda. But there are lots of things to talk about. And normally we talk about things that are non-racing to begin with. So how about we start with hockey? What are you thinking of the playoffs so far?
I think, it's funny you say that. I was just thinking today.
You're just thinking that your internet.
Our buddy Kevin Gooder, he's an Oilers super fan.
He is indeed.
I mentioned in a group chat that I would have bet money that the Oilers would have never made it past Calgary, and now they're up 3-1. And last night they were up 3-0, and Calgary come back and made it tied at 3-3. And Smith let one in from Calgary's face-off dots in their own end zone, or just about. And I thought at that point, well, I couldn't stay awake anymore, but I thought at that point that Calgary was coming back. And
yeah, you know what? That goal from 130 feet away.
Something like that. I can't
believe it didn't break Edmonton's back when that happened. And it was funny watching Smith because he had no idea where it was. But he saw, if you watch the replay, the defensemen all turned around to look back behind them. So he must have known it was coming. By the way, you can see Sandy and your cats walking by in the background there. We're going to have to get you a green screen, Alex.
Yeah, or just, get the cats to stay out of the picture, and maybe Sandy wouldn't get home so early from work. Would be okay.
Yeah. I wonder if her boss left early. He's going to find out.
Oh, I'm sure.
Video.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But getting back to hockey, I know
we've been starting your internet. I've been watching. You see how? Only we can see it. You won't see this on the video, but your internet has been dropping a little bit. So I'm not sure if maybe somebody else is watching a stream or something. But you did cut out a little bit, and I think what we're going to do, because even though we're streaming live, this is still private, so nobody's going to see it unless we approve it. It's only on our YouTube channel, and we haven't really promoted that yet. As a result, I don't think we have to worry too much about it, and until we get this right. But anyway, as far as hockey's concerned, yeah, I'm a little bit shocked too that Edmonton has a chance to close this out. But every radio station I listened to today, all I heard was about how Calgary's going to come back. I wouldn't want to be in their position right now.
No, it's going to be tough. I mean, Calgary really hasn't shown me anything to suggest they're coming back. Goaltending's been subpar. A guy that's up for the Vezina, the 40-year-old on the other end. When you're getting out goaltended by a 40-year-old that people wondered if he'd make it past the first game in the first round, but he's still playing. I mean, give him credit, And what about the Rangers and Carolina series? To me, that is really a blah series. I got to tell you, I can't even get
Not
into it.
exciting, you mean?
I
Like
don't know what it is.
watch?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Not exciting at all. It's really, I expected more from Carolina, I think, and maybe that's credit to the Rangers, but and I know you don't want to hear this, but I told several people that the best hockey they might have seen during these pull playoffs is already over when Tampa and Toronto played each other.
Well, you know what? That's hard to say because Colorado certainly looks like they're playing some great hockey in the West, and and when they meet
but
up,
it's no contest.
I think that could be a good series, the final.
No, it could be, but so far, in my opinion, that's been the best series and most exciting. And went 7, so kind of proves it a little bit. But Colorado and if it's Tampa, unless there's bad injuries, I can't see Tampa not getting through Carolina or New York, to be honest. But it'd be cool. I mean, Colorado and Tampa would be a heck of a series for sure if that happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think that seems like that they're heading for a collision course. I mean, I know, obviously Carolina's maybe not playing to their potential right now. The Rangers are surprising us.
I don't know if that's it's not always the case. Sorry to interrupt, but maybe maybe Carolina's just not that great. I mean, their supposed number 1 goal, I guess, out.
Yeah. Still, I thought he would have
Freddie
been
Anderson, but
yeah.
Well, I mean, if you remember him when he was with the Leafs, if he had a sore finger, he wouldn't play. He's a funny dude that way. Seems like he's got to be 100% or he's out.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I know what it's like to have injuries that prevent you from, playing your best. It's not fun when that happens. And, but you're right. I haven't really heard much about him, and I don't know that they really do miss him. I mean, I don't know how much better he would be at this point anyway.
Listen, Ranta's been good.
Sign him this year either.
Right, that's a good call, and I mean, Ranta's been good. It's been interesting, Calgary. You talk about people playing hurt. Look at Tanev played last night for Calgary. He's only got 1 flipper. Obviously, the other one's on by a thread. And, give him credit. He was still pretty good. I mean, he really was the reason why the Zach Hyman goal went in, because he couldn't fend him off in the crease. But, I mean, overall, the playoffs have been good. What about basketball? You've been watching the basketball playoffs?
No, I have not. However, I did watch a little bit of the press conference before the game with the Golden State Warriors coach.
Yeah.
Talking about how unimportant the game was as a result of the tragedy in Texas, which is unbelievable. I mean, 19 kids gunned down.
Crazy stuff.
And I don't understand. This keeps happening over and over again. And you see today, Biden calls for gun control. Well, this is not new. This is not new. And I understand, that the right to bear arms, but things are different now, and every day that goes by that these politicians, and I guess it's the senators in the US, don't vote on tighter gun controls. These things are, the potential for this is still there. So how do they not do it? I don't know. I can't even
Yeah,
imagine. And these guys are right. But what's going to happen is a week from now or 2 weeks from now, that's not going to be in the spotlight until it happens again.
yeah. It's it's tragic, and gun control is part of it, but I can assure you, most crimes aren't made with legal guns.
No, but to buy
And
a
you can
gun,
have all the
there's
gun
proper
control you want.
background checks.
And oh yeah, no, 100%, 100%.
Yeah,
No,
it's
Steve Kerr was 100% right
it's
there
right.
for sure.
He
I
was,
agree.
and very passionate about it, and you know what? And Golden State went out and got smoked. I think they're still in control there of that series, but still,
It
um,
definitely seems
clearly
like it
they're
affected the
importing
game.
the game. Yeah.
I agree. I agree for sure. And yeah, I think Golden State will be okay, but it's crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
What about racing? You were over here on Sunday, and we got a chance to watch the NASCAR Pinty's race from Canadian Tire, along with several others, got really hit hard with weather on Saturday, and CTMP had a lot of damage, and teams and tents and places had a lot of damage. Our friend JP from Peterborough Speedway that was on a few weeks ago, his racetrack, he had his season opener, and they canceled, never did get on the racetrack, and he's still working. He hadn't had power up until yesterday. I don't know if he got it today, but fencing and buildings. And so, we were pretty lucky, I guess. They did get the races off on Sunday at CTMP, and it was a good race. They started in weather and finished on dry. And yeah, overall, it was a good race. Kevin Lacroix won, and also, I know you saw the stream of the APC United Racing Series race from Sunset
Mhm.
on GeForce TV, and another good race. So, and then I don't know about you, I didn't watch any of the NASCAR All Star race, but it sounded like it was quite the mess.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of the NASCAR All-Star race either, but, I have a couple of takeaways. First of all, I did enjoy watching, the road course, CTMP. I thought that was quite interesting, and it would be a pretty cool place to go and watch a race from. Um,
Yeah, great facility.
yeah, and it's a lot different, watching. I was trying. It was a little harder for me because a lot of these guys were several laps down, and to know who's leading, I guess, is on TV. I mean, obviously they have the leaderboard and everything, and you can see. But as a fan being there, I think it might be a little difficult to be able to distinguish that, at least for someone that's newer to the sport like myself. Yeah, but I gotta say, I'm just gonna throw this out there. Wrecking is not racing, Alex. And I've seen this twice now, and I don't think that my opinion is unique in any way. But NASCAR for some reason doesn't have an issue with this, but I don't think it's safe. Um, I think that the wrong person wins when that happens because it doesn't take any skill to wreck somebody. And, it happened in the NASCAR race a couple of weeks ago. The Pinty's race now as well. And I also didn't understand, some of the, like when there's cars that are stopped on the course, how come they're not rushing to throw cautions out there? Um, I don't know. I don't understand that. But for me, I don't think that looks safe either.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I mean. Officiating a race, like officiating any sporting event, is not easy, as you know. And I don't know the reasoning for no yellow with the cars stopped on the race course, but I do agree. So, if you recall, during the broadcast, I had told you about a TikTok where Gary Clute has his podcast, and uh, he had Ron Fellows on there, who's a part owner of CTMP, and he had asked Ron what he thought about rubbing in racing, or is rubbing racing. I forget how he worded it, but Ron is a legend, and Ron's answer was simple. It takes no to run somebody over, but it takes a lot of talent to pass somebody. And it wasn't that long after I told you that there's Gary on the last couple corners, and there'll be excuses, I'm sure. Listen, Kevin Lacroix is a hell of a race car driver, man, and he's aggressive, but ultimately he turned Gary and put him in the wall, and ends up winning. And yeah, my personal opinion is that that's not how you should win a race. But it's funny, you can accidentally flip a puck over the glass in your zone, and it doesn't matter at all. It's a penalty. But you can take somebody's head off, or almost take their head off, and it's debatable. So my point is, you're going to race how your league, series, or whatever you're involved in is going to officiate it. And doesn't mean it's right, but if wherever you race allows that to happen, some people are going to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a matter of knowing.
Again, I'm not saying it's right, or it doesn't mean that you have to agree, but if that's how it is, that's how it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't agree. I think it's not safe. I think that, why you wrecking somebody else's car when clearly that was what he was trying to do. Yeah, I mean, I guess,
listen, moving somebody, nipping on somebody's bumper and getting them to wiggle, that's still, that's questionable, but it happens. And if the guy keeps control and has an opportunity to get you back, I think that's acceptable. But when you put somebody in the wall, or you crash somebody, spin them out, and send them wherever for a win, again, personally, I don't like it. And I agree with Ron Fellows. I mean, it takes zero talent to wreck somebody to win, or at any time for that matter.
Yeah. Well, I guess if it keeps happening, that might force them to revisit this and see if really this is where they want to be in 2022, especially in the Cup Series. Those cars are worth a heck of a lot of money. And, to have that happen on the last lap when you're about to win, or, whether or not it was for the lead. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my personal opinion is it should be taken out of the sport. But then there's people that say fighting should be taken out of hockey, and I still think there's a place for that, as well. Maybe not as much as Don Cherry believes it, but
right. And again, like I say, that's my personal view, but I do respect rules, however they're written, or however they are however they're applied. And if that's and that goes for any sport. Again, doesn't mean I have to like it, but again, that's just a personal opinion. Mentioned watching the APC race, but I don't think we mentioned 2-1. We should give him a shout out because he was a former guest, who is Ricky Spencer Walt.
Yeah, I was happy
second
to see him.
APC race at us. at his home track at Sunset Speedway. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a wheelman and he loves that place and he knows it really well. But yeah, no, he ran good.
He did, and I listened to the post-race interview with him as well, and I didn't realize that he didn't run very well in practice. I guess he had some older tires on, so you really have to pay attention to who's running what during practice if you don't know, because clearly once the race started with the new rubber on there, he was fast. He had that restart
Yeah.
there and took the outside line, and for me, I think, okay, the shortest way around the track is on the inside, but obviously it's not always the fastest way around the track, but he obviously knew what he was doing because it didn't take him long to get the lead back and then hang on for the win. And I think that was only his second win, and they're both at the same track, so good for him. That's great. I was happy to see that, and it's nice to see, especially I think it was a couple of years ago since his first win as well.
He's ever ran that series full time in its short existence, but this year he has announced that he is going to race the full schedule. So it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out. There's like the Pinty series and so many other great series around. There's a ton of competition, and it might look easy one week, but you know what it's like the next week. It's a different program, right? But
yeah. Oh yeah, no question.
yeah,
There's some good racers there, and
despite the
tracks
weather,
are
we
all
were
different,
fortunate
right?
to see some good racing.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
it's crazy weather, and
Definitely.
hopefully we can get some string of sunny weather here coming up, and all these races can get in, and the local tracks can get their shows in without being affected. Because I can tell you, on running a weekly race program, if you end up with 2 or 4 or 5 rainouts, you can lose up to a third of your season, depending on how many events you have. Hopefully Mother Nature behaves, and we'll have a good summer.
Yeah, I guess it's a good start. I mean, I was surprised that you guys didn't get hit with as much rain and the weather, that it seemed like
Yeah, I was
on the road. Sunset is not far.
Well, yeah, I was at Sunset, and it rained. It rained hard, and it flooded the racetrack. It flooded the pit area. The crew there did a great job pumping, and once it stopped, the racetrack has got some good banks and banking, and it dried out pretty quick. I mean, the schedule was obviously modified all throughout the day, but it got they got it in, so that was a plus.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. It didn't really do much for attendance to have the weather the way it was, but hopefully, that one's out of the way, and the rest of them are going to be great.
Yeah, I think Flamborough got their race in. Speaking about locally in our area here in southwestern Ontario, but Merrittville Speedway got a show in, and I think Humberstone was postponed. Oswego was supposed to start last week, and they postponed early. Combination of the weather and trying to finish up some construction. But I see they tested there last night, testing tonight, and after a couple of years, it looks like the Big O is going to open up Friday night. So that's good for the Oswego fans.
Yeah, absolutely. And they have the Pinty's race there this year too, so lots to look forward to from that track this year. And where's APC next? Flamborough, right?
Yes, Flamborough Speedway it's a double header with the Quick Wick Superstocks and also the Can-Am Midgets too. So June 4th, Flamborough APC 100 and 50 lap Superstock race should be a heck of a show. And I think the Pinty series heads to Quebec, I believe, to Chaudière for a trip that they hadn't been there for a couple of years either. So it's good for all these programs and series to get,
Mhm.
back traveling and getting to places where people get a chance to see them again.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Unfortunately, we're gonna miss the Flamborough race. Noof and I are gonna be in PEI when that race is going on, so we might be at Hillcrest Farms. Just saying.
Yeah, sure. Rub it in.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I actually I don't think we're gonna have much time. We're only going down for a couple of days, but hey, if the weather's looking good ahead of time, I might convince her to bring a couple discs in our carry-on.
Yeah, good luck, buddy.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see. But anyway, yeah, you know what? The last couple of weeks, you watching some of these races, it's been for me. I look at it as a learning opportunity, and I really did learn quite a bit. Some things to look out for, and some things that I have an opinion about now. So it's I'm looking forward to. I mean, I realize it's just the tip of the iceberg. But luckily, I have an opportunity to kind of live vicariously through, Carson and Hudson and all their friends and the people that we've had on our podcast. So, the learning curve is getting there, and I want to keep learning a little bit more about this stuff. And maybe this weekend I'll have a chance to meet a few other people too.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will.
And for our listeners, if anybody ever watches or listens to this, which I'm not quite sure we're going to keep it up or not right now, but if they do, the Canadian Motorsports Hall of Fame induction ceremony is this Saturday in Toronto, and I think they're inducting 2 years worth. Is that correct?
Yeah, 2020s was obviously pandemicked out, the class of 2020, and so they're going to do class of 2020 and class of 2021 this Saturday and get caught up and get themselves back on track like everybody else. So it should be a heck of an outing for sure. A lot of
Yeah.
legends.
Fortunately, Joni and I get to go there with you and Sandy and your family to watch you get inducted. I just, I don't know though. I hope your head doesn't get any bigger because we might not get you out of there.
Well, I'm still in awe to even be nominated and selected. So, and plus you've seen my fat melon. It can't get any bigger. I don't think they don't make hats much bigger. So I don't think I can afford for it to get any bigger. It'll be an honor, I can tell you.
Well, you know what? If there's an award for professional grass cutter as well, I think you'd be at the top of that list as well.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty good at it. Not going to lie.
All right. So listen, where are we? 28 minutes in. I think what I'm going to try to do is see how the outro works at this point and see if we can end this off and make it look somewhat half decent. We didn't really have anything to go by today and in terms of a rundown, but I think we're going to have to get used to this. I will say this though, Alex, off topic. You probably had at least a dozen dropouts during
really?
the recording. So it automatically records each of us separately. And what it does is that, so if you have like bad internet for a bit, it uploads it to your recording. So I think that you can piece it together and it might be okay. I'm going to look at it when we get them and see how that works. But I mean, the idea behind this is that we really don't want to do any editing. We want to get this down so that we can jump on here, do our thing. It automatically uploads to the social platforms. But I think you're on Wi-Fi right now, correct? Your laptop? I think, whereabouts is your router?
Yes.
Is your router nearby?
Far away yeah, could run a hard wire.
I think that we should try, like, we should do another demo. Like, we'll just call this a demo. And we should do another demo with that, because with at least as of right now, I don't think your video is like, it's hard because when you were dropping out, I couldn't hear what you were saying at all. And I don't
Right.
know if that will make it when when we get the individual files, but then that means we have to edit those files and we can't just let it go as is. And there's a few other things too that while we're sorting this out, I need to work on some titles, some intros and outros. You can see here that I have a little bit of an overlay with our logos, and if somebody goes really quick with their phone, that'll take them right to our podcast. And I can turn that off and on. And, I'm still learning how to, kind of position us on the screen like this or what I just had, which is like that. There's other options as well. It's kind of neat, and a lot of people are doing it. So I think if we just keep working at it, we'll figure it out. So hopefully people will bear with us while we do that. I think a couple more times, just like
absolutely.
the podcast.
Right. I mean, we wanted to get to just not video. I mean, this isn't just video. Like you said, it'll be a live from now on, which is great.
Yeah.
And listen, we'll get it worked out. That's where we've been for the last couple of weeks, just trying to get things started out. And part of the reason for this podcast is, like you said, a demo, a test, and try to work out the bugs. So it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, we'll definitely get there. All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening or not listening. This has been another episode of the Driver in Deep podcast. I hope you, I don't hope you like it because I know it wasn't very good, but next time will be better, I promise. Until then.
Well, we're wide open sideways. Talk is cheap. You're clear on that. We got the foot to the floor. There's only driver in deep. Right, you're clear. Got a plug on coming up on here inside. Alright, you're clear. You're clear on this. It's gonna be on the inside of you. Alright, you're clear.